Now we're going to take a look at a data structure in which we have some restrictions in place as to how we can access it, but the operations that we perform on it will occur in constant time, like we saw with indexing on arrays. So the name of this structure, and because I'm speaking of it in abstract terms as kind of an idea rather than the implementation itself, this is formally known as an abstract data type rather than a data structure. A data structure refers to the actual implementation of an abstract data type. It's just kind of a small difference in the terminology there. So the name of this data type is a stack. And the way a stack works is that we will have two operations that we can perform on it: push and pop. To push something onto the stack, as the arrow shows here, we've got like a stack of plates. To push something onto the stack is to add something to the top, and to pop something from the stack is to take something off the top. So a very common analogy that you'll see with stacks, or it's not even just an analogy, it's an example, it's an actual stack in real life, is a pile of plates that you might see in a cafeteria. So these are clean plates, one would hope. And so you're entering the cafeteria and you're taking a plate before you're going to, the salad bar or whatever. And you're always going to take the top plate, right? I mean, nobody tries to lift up, let's say, the top 3 plates and get the 4th one underneath. You treat this as a stack. You take something off the top, and if, let's say, the dishwasher is done with a new round of clean plates, there's really no reason for them to lift the existing stack of plates up and putting the clean ones underneath. They can just put those clean ones on the very top of this stack, and then you would pop one off when you need to use it. So another example of a stack is an edit history. When you are editing a document or an image, or you're working with a computer that has some ability to do undos and redo. And so in this edit history, what I've done is I've put the last things that I wrote on this digital whiteboard here, which is the word snacks. If you did not notice that I spelled stacks wrong, you are not paying very close attention to this video. So the way that an edit history works is like a stack. That is, the most recent edit we've made to the document is what's going to be at the very top of the stack. So if I want to undo something, what I'm doing is popping it off the stack. So I'm going to do the undo operation. And because this stack here is meant to mimic what I've written over here, I'm going to have to do 2 undos for every letter that I want to undo, because I have like an S here and an S here, and I want to undo both of them to represent it, leaving the edit history and the actual document here. So we remove the S, and now we have K, remove the K. And so the idea is I want to pop enough items off the stack. I want to undo enough times to get to the point where I wrote the N, and then we will fix it. So I'll continue popping off the stack here, and then I can fix it with the T. So now what I'm going to do in my edit history, this is what the computer does for you. I'm just explicitly doing it so we can see it visually, is the computer will take that most recent edit and put it in the edit history, and then A, C, K, and S. Okay, and so we undid enough times so we could go back to where the error was, and we fixed it, and now this is what our edit history looks like, and any subsequent edits that we make would then be pushed on top of the stack. So this is how the undo redo process can work for a document. Similarly, in your web browser, when you hit the back button or the forward button, a stack can be used for that as well. So as I was saying before, a stack has these two operations, push and pop. And so stacks as an idea, as something that is maintaining this data with these two operations, this is known as an abstract data type, or ADT. You might see this used a lot if you do any reading on data structures in general. Any of the topics for this class, you might see this, if you go to like a Wikipedia page for stacks or something like that, you might refer to the abstract data type as defining these two operations. So when you're talking about the concept of one of these things, like a stack or a linked list, that is, it has some data that's managed and it has some operations it can perform on this data, we are talking about the abstract data type. When we talk about an actual implementation, like how we're actually writing our stack in code, that is the data structure. So again, just clarifying that difference. So next, we're going to look at how we can implement a stack using our node class.